What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Oh, whoa, okay, we already have a chat in here. We're basically the same team as last year. Shout out to Jeremy. We did not do any better at front office. If it's truly a cash on hand problem of cap, then they need to sell the team. Wow. Howdy. Welcome. I didn't know we already had the chat going. And then Jerry Jones, who also hates Mike Brown, gave Dak a ridiculous contract. He really did. He gave him $60 million a year, and we see how that's turning out in the end. You know, the front office just absolutely kills me, man. The front office just absolutely destroys me, I feel like. So let's talk. As really nothing happened today. Today has been the most nothing burger of a day ever. But, as I made a video about recently, we did have some information. What's up, Dreamy? The Bengals almost traded Trey Hendrickson. And the key term there is almost. We tried to trade Trey Hendrickson to the Colts for a first-round pick, and they couldn't work out his new salary cap, like his new deal that they would have to sign him to. So it didn't work out in the end, but we almost did. The Colts have the 14th overall pick. So if that trade would have went through, we would have had the 14th and 17th overall pick, which still begs the question. It's not the first overall pick, so he wouldn't be able to get Abdul Carter and replace that situation. In other news, as this is showing up here, Trey is a first, arguably a first and a fifth. Yeah, I agree with you, Dylan. But at the end of the day, teams are not valuing him like that. So if they don't value him like that, they're not going to trade that for him. In other news, and this is, I find very funny. Okay, I find very entertaining. You guys know Ryan Clark? Yeah, she did comment that. She commented out on the last video. But Ryan Clark, I forget which show he's a part of. He's part of one of the network shows, the sport network shows. He says that Sanders, the quarterback from Colorado, Deion's son, I keep asking lately, I was like, why does he keep dropping in most mock drafts, right? He keeps dropping. He went from a top 5 pick, and now they're saying he's a second or third round player. Well, the reason why Ryan Clark claims is because he's black. Yep. Cam Ward's not dropping. Cam Ward's also African American. But apparently Ryan Clark solved the issue. He solved the whole reasoning why. He says that, you know, Sanders is black, and that's why he's dropping the second or third round. If he was white, he would not be dropping. We're just avoiding the fact that Cam Ward might be the first player off the board. We're forgetting about that part. Oh man, I love this. Ryan Clark, man, you crack me up, bro. There's 2 African American quarterbacks at the top of the board. One dropping, the other one isn't. It's because he's black. Okay. Yeah, that's really the reason why, is because he has character problems. And he blamed his whole offensive line, and the guy blames everyone but himself. That's the issue why Sanders is dropping, because people don't like his attitude. Yeah, it's behavior issues. Sanders blamed his whole offensive line, is saying that they sucked. Just imagine Joe coming out in a press conference and be like, you know what? We lost today because my line sucked. Yeah, it's their fault we lost today. Okay. I don't know who's going to block for you next week, but it ain't going to be them. Oh, man, I love it. Anyway, so I want to play this little snippet here. This is from... I mean, he isn't wrong, though. I mean, the line might have sucked. Yeah, you're talking about with Joe Burrow. I know, but you just don't say that. As a quarterback, you don't throw your line under the bus. You don't come out and say the offensive line. Oh, you are talking about Sanders. Okay. What's up? How you doing, man? Welcome. But you just don't throw your offensive line under the bus. You don't do that. So I want to play this snippet here from Adam Schefter. And this is coming from about the Philadelphia Eagles. And this is why the Eagles front office is so freaking amazing. And why, for some reason, our front office can't get this crap done. But listen to what the Eagles have the next, I think it's 2 years. Let me play this.
Milton Williams and Josh Sweat and the cornerback Isaiah Rodgers to the Minnesota Vikings. They wound up getting 3 compensatory draft picks that day, or will be getting in 2026. And once those are awarded, the Philadelphia Eagles are scheduled to have 20 draft picks in the next 2 years, Ty. 20 picks. Most teams in a given draft have 7. The Eagles have 20 the next 2 years, including 11 in the first 4 rounds of the next 2 years. 11 and 17 in the first 5 rounds the next 2 years. You know what those picks do? Those picks give you a chance to bring in good young players on rookie contracts that allow you to pay the veteran superstars. So they're planning on these young players stepping in. And who has had a better drafting record than the Philadelphia Eagles? And by the way, it's probably going to turn into more once they lose Mekhi Becton. And who knows how they're going to manipulate the draft this year and potentially turn it into more picks next year or the year after. So this was, I think, part of the plan for them to move forward like this. They're the world champions. There's a world champion tax to pay, and that is that other teams want to give your players more than they ordinarily would get. The prices on them in free agency usually get jacked up, and that's exactly what happened this year with the Philadelphia Eagles.
20 picks over the next 2 years. So what they're doing, and this is what smart teams do here, smart front offices, is when you see a guy, right, that you know you're okay, I'm going to sign this player. He's going to play pretty good for us, but we're not going to keep him, right? We don't need to keep him. Or maybe he costs too much money. What happens is he joins your team. He has a crazy great season. You let him go. You get a compensatory pick for him. If he plays good enough, then you get a compensatory pick for him, and he goes somewhere else. You draft a replacement for him and get some pretty good, a pretty good player for cheaper. So that's what they pretty much do. They sign these players knowing that they're going to leave after 1 year. They get the best out of them, and they're able to, get stuff back for them. They get picks back for them. I actually don't like signing Khalil Mack. I mean, you're talking about, you're a Chargers fan. That's why. Okay. Hey, sorry, I know I'm late. What's up? It's all good, D1. It's all good. Yeah. So the Jets just released CJ Mosley. It's been a very interesting day for everybody else except for us. Obviously, we've been very lackluster to say the least. So the Jets released CJ Mosley. AJ Dillon signed with the Philadelphia Eagles. We also got Vikings have agreed to terms with Javon Hargrave, which we talked about yesterday. Get my hopes up with the promises the Brown family makes, and just like the government promised me, that will never happen. Yeah, it is what it is. And I think it's that. Okay, so Ward is going to the Colts. Seahawks are signing DeMarcus Lawrence. That is interesting. AJ Dillon was running backs for the Packers. I don't know how. Wait, AJ Dillon was he was a running back for the Packers at one point. They agreed to terms. Danny Dimes. Here's the thing, right? Because I saw Pat McAfee show today, and he was talking about this signing, and he's very excited about it. And I get it. I don't want to rain on anyone's parade. I understand that, this is his new quarterback. He's going to be very excited about it. It is what it is. But we played Danny Dimes last year, and I know the Giants' offensive line is horrendous, so it's not like he had any favors done for him there. But, man, Danny Dimes is not good. He is not. And they're talking about now the Colts are thinking about shopping Anthony Richardson. They're going to trade Anthony Richardson away and keep Danny Dimes as their starting quarterback. And I don't see the scenario where that is even logical. Again, Danny Dimes is not the worst quarterback in the world, don't get me wrong, but he's not that good. I mean, you watch our game last year when we played them, he had wide open guys, many wide open guys, and he missed wide open players. Like, it is sad to watch him play because he will miss the most wide open throws. And it's not a player issue. He'll have time to throw it and he'll just miss the guy. He just doesn't throw it anywhere close to him. Wide open picked when we played. Exactly. It is almost to a point where it's just like, it's almost like you're not watching a real football player. Like, you're watching him and you're like, wow, I could do better than that. That's how sad it is when you're watching Danny Dimes. He just throws up nothing burgers. I don't understand why Colts fans are so excited about this. They paid $14 million to a guy who really is a nothing burger. I don't get it. Yeah, exactly. He goes to his first read. That's all he does. He hikes it and he goes to his first read. His first read not open. He just sits there in the pocket and waits, and then he'll take off running or he'll just overthrow someone. He throws it way too late to his receivers and he wonders why no one's catching it. Like, again, I think the Giants' offensive line was not good. Don't get me wrong, but it's not like he was making any, help anywhere else. So who we drafted in the first round? I hope we draft an edge rusher. So Darius Slay officially now is with the Pittsburgh Steelers, which, according to Eagles fans, everything I've heard from them, talked to a couple of them, they said that this is a joke. Like, Darius Slay is not good anymore. He's a trash can. He's 34 years old. He's old, broken down. Don't worry about him. He's not going to be that good. So, honestly, I'm not scared of him. He'll be going against Jamar Chase or T. Higgins, and either of them can cook him alive. So it's not like it's a big deal that they got him. They signed him to a 1-year deal, so it is what it is. I still find this hilarious. The Cleveland Browns traded for Kenny Pickett. So the Rams released Cooper Kupp. So the Rams got rid of Cooper Kupp. And that's interesting. What's up, Cornell? Who day? So the Rams got rid of Cooper Kupp, which, okay. We knew this was going to happen. They made it very vocal that this was going to happen. But Panthers also... Wait, I thought the Cowboys re-signed him. Are you sure they got him? I thought they re-signed Rico Dowell. 2-year contract for the Broncos with Evan Ingram. Signed him to a 2-year deal. I thought the Cowboys got Rico Dowell back. Yep, number 10 is gone. He's in free agency now. Agreed to term to Real Fries. Oh, I love that. Harlem Landry is Patriot. Trayvon Mulwig. Hubbard. Yeah, he retired anyway, so it didn't matter. Javon Holland. They gave him a 2-year, $30 million deal. Hey, bro, Rico Dowell went to the Panthers. They should have kept it on the Cowboys. Wow. I know they signed Javonte Williams. The Cowboys signed Javonte Williams. I thought that they signed him too. They traded for Elam. Which, Zeitler is on the Titans now. Zeitler signed with the Titans, which pissed me off to all bloody hell. Marcus Mariota went back to the Commanders. The Rams released Cooper Kupp. Yup, and Khalil Herbert went to the Colts. MVS is going to the Seahawks. Wow, interesting there. Michael Pierce retired. Bills are extending DeMar Hamlin. No, I wanted him to retire. I wanted him to retire, bro. I'm tired of this. They're gonna milk this for all they can get. The funny thing is, we traded a 7th round pick for we did a 7th round pick for Joe Mixon. Oh, sorry, no, we traded Joe Mixon away for a 7th round pick, and then traded that pick to get Khalil Herbert, and we barely used him. T. Higgins deal was supposed to be done today. I don't see why they do this. It's like they don't want to be good. So, based on what I've heard, okay, this is just speculation. Speculation, everything with a grain of salt. DeMar Hamlin, I know he's good, but like I'm just tired of the NFL milking the crap out of it. Apparently they want to announce T's deal with Jamar Chase's deal. That's what people are saying now, that they want to announce them together. I don't know if that's accurate, but that's the speculation right now. They want to announce both of them together. I could see him going to the Seahawks. Callahan knows the importance of protecting a quarterback. Yeah. Although last year he was also the coach and there was not the greatest. Demarcus Robinson. Wow. Okay. And that's where receivers go to die. Baltimore. Yeah, okay, about everything. Why did the Rams cut? They cut him because he has too many injury concerns. They wanted to save money. All right, so let's look at free agency. Now that we went through the moves for today, let's look at free agency. Ba-da-dum-bum, ba-dum-bum-bum. Okay. Look at the top of that list, baby. Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is currently between the Steelers or the Giants, which I don't understand why he's having to decide between the two. So could we get Kupp as wide receiver 3 for a minimum and have the Rams pay the rest of his salary next season? Yes, we could, Mark. We actually could. I wish, Deep Fry. I wish so bad. And the Browns now. Aaron Rodgers is older than my dad. 41 and a half years old. He's flying to Cleveland this week. Aaron Rodgers is flying to Cleveland? Bro, just choose the Steelers. I mean, you get DK Metcalf and George Pickens. And, you know, Mike Tomlin's used to dealing with old dysfunctional people. Like, it works out. Still quiet on Jenkins. Giants and Seahawks are now interested in the Chiefs, who structured. Yeah, that situation with Jenkins is still up in the air. We haven't heard any update about the whole situation. I hope we get Jenkins at this point, but who knows? All right, so let's go to guards. Brandon Sheriff leads the list off. Shaq Mason, Will Hernandez, Nate Herbig. We got Mekhi Becton still available, obviously. We also got Dalton Risner, Tevin Jenkins, who we're currently bidding for, apparently. Yeah, Kupp is old, man. Kupp's been in the league for a long time. Yeah, that's why he has all those injury concerns. Once you hit like close to 30 as a receiver, you start breaking down. A shelf life for a receiver is up to 32 years old. Before 30, you're good, but once you hit close to 30, you start breaking down. Well, honestly, at this point, I prefer anyone over Burton. Burton doesn't run his routes correctly. He's a head case. He doesn't listen. He doesn't do what he's supposed to do. At this point, I prefer anyone over Burton. So, you can list off a list of names, and I'll probably say yes over Burton. Even though Burton has the ability to be really good and has all the intangibles, for some reason, it doesn't work out. Like, he doesn't put it together. He doesn't want it. As Duke said, he has to want it more. So, Yoshi is our wide receiver 3, yes. But Yoshi is a outside receiver, and if we get a wide receiver 3, theoretically speaking, we would use him as a slot receiver. Over what we have. Yeah, we just need starters. what's your predictions for before training camp? The Bengals will get better or will they get worse? Well, here's the thing, right, Edmund? We are at rock bottom, right? Right now, this roster is at rock bottom. We have no line to protect Joe. Our defense was one of the worst defenses last year, period. Do we get anything for letting Herbert go? No, we do not. Sadly, we do not. All we get is a sticker and a good job champ. But this roster right now is at rock bottom. We can only go up from here. That's the beautiful thing about being at rock bottom. You can only get better, right? So we're only going to get better from where we are right now. So the roster will be better because we'll have 6 new, hopefully, defensive players in the draft. We're most likely going to sign 1 or 2 more players, hopefully Tevin Jenkins, in free agency. So, and as long as you have Joe Burrow, that offense will cook. But you have to protect Joe Burrow. We wasted a 7th round pick for nothing, 100%. And we traded freaking Joe Mixon for a 7th and then used the pick on Khalil Herbert. So we pretty much traded Joe Mixon for Khalil Herbert, a guy who comes off of a 1,400-yard season, for a guy who fumbled the first time we gave him the ball versus the Ravens. It's moves like that define the front office of this team. That's what defines the front office. All right, so tackles, Trent Brown is still available. I don't think we'll bring him back, in all honesty. But at this point, you just got to get backup linemen. You just got to get depth at this point. Just get as much depth as humanly possible. But it is what it is. I would like to add a veteran corner. That would be another step I would like to see. Especially with us losing Mike Hilton to the Buccaneers. I would like to see us get somebody else. I'm sure we're probably not going to, because knowing the Bengals, they'll probably try to draft someone. But our secondary is really freaking young, which is a dual-edged sword. One, it's a good thing, right? You want to have a young secondary, don't cost them much money, and also they are only going to get better, right? They're going to grow, develop, get better, whatever. But at the end of the day, it's nice to have a veteran. It's nice to have a veteran in there that can actually do their job at a very high level. And they could also kind of teach the rest of the guys how to do their job as well. So, any talks of a corner, looks like they will just draft. Yeah, there has been 0 talks about corners. And I really want to add at least 1 veteran corner. Because Mike Hilton was our only veteran corner last year. And it's kind of a mess. Back, cheap deal. I would like him back on a cheap deal 100%, but I don't think he'll take a cheap deal. Remember, Trent Brown last year, he went through 3 levels of free agency. So you have the first wave we're in now, right? Then you have a second one right before the NFL draft. You have a third one after the NFL draft, right? When players teams don't get who they want. And then you have a final one right before training camp. We waited until the free agency 4 to sign Trent Brown last year. Like, we waited to the 4th free agency period wave to sign Trent Brown. So Trent Brown, he's probably not going to get signed until free agency wave 4. So I wouldn't be surprised if we might bring him back, bring him on a cheap deal, but if not, he's going to be out there for a while. But Saul Douglas is not that great. That would be really why. I mean, he's not bad. He's 30 and a half years old. He's going to be 31 when the season kicks off. He's not bad, but he's not really the greatest. So that's why no one really signed him yet. And again, a lot of these older veteran players, I feel like hopefully history repeats itself. It probably will, to be honest. Knowing the Bengals, we are very active in wave 4 of free agency, because that's when you get the deals. You know, here's what I'll say about wave 4 of free agency should just be renamed to the bargain bin. That's what wait for free agency is. It's a bargain bin. It's all the guys who have been out there for freaking forever, waiting and waiting and waiting for a team to come by interested in them. And at that point, they've been waiting so damn long, it's the bargain bin. Everyone's like, okay, I'll just accept the contract. I just want to play on a team next year. I'll take your deal, whatever. It's the bargain bin. Everyone has had their chance to look at them, and nobody wants them. What's up, Dundo? How you doing? Bengals are in talks with Cup. Apparently, it's rumored. Of course it is. It would not surprise me in any slightest that we would be in rumor to talk to Cup. If we can get Cup and we can make the Rams pay his salary and we can get him for a league minimum, why would we not? It makes perfect sense. Mike Hilton went to the Bucks. He's not coming to the Steelers. Unless that deal fell through. Packers, Chargers, and Seahawks line. Yeah. It's rumored that we're talking to this free agent along with every single other team he's talking to. Yeah, obviously. I mean, at this point, Cup just wants someone to sign with. I'm sure he's open to sign with anybody. The Brown fans shop at the Dollar Tree for the players. Everyone but Myles Garrett, apparently. Myles Garrett, they're shopping at the freaking the Supreme store, the Gucci store for Myles Garrett. But everybody else, they're shopping at freaking Dollar Store because they can't pay anyone else because they pay so much money to one guy. Where do you see the that Mike Hilton thing? I'll bring it up. So Mike Hilton, at least he was going to sign with them. I don't know if that fell through. I don't know if that fell through. It says predicted, but he apparently worked out some deal with it. I didn't make that up, bro. I did not make that up. I'll pull up multiple different people who said it. Hold up. Let me pull it up. Blah, blah, blah. Wait, sign that one. No, let me pull up the other one. I saw one last night. Predicted. And then this one too. And then there was also when he first got cut, or we first had free agency, there was speculation that he was talking to them. And then it was said that the talks got a little bit better. And then there was I think it was $22 million contract that was put out there. Chiefs went from negotiation to 50 mil. They did. They actually really did. They because they reworked Chris Jones's contract, and they also reworked Patrick Mahomes' contract. So that's why they reworked both of those guys, and that's why they ended up positive money now. Actually, right now, let me see if Over the Cap updated. Trey will be forced to honor his contract. I mean, Trey's already said many times he will play out the rest of his contract. He said that he separates business from his actual, he separates business from him playing as a player on the field because it's not right to his other players for him to sit out or not play. So the Chiefs right now are plus 33 million. Plus 33 million, bro. That is insane. They were negative 19 million yesterday. Joe, do something. Restructure. It doesn't matter. The front office won't figure it out. The front office won't figure it out anyway. It does not matter. Can they tag Hendrickson next year? I don't think the Bengals would want do him like that. I don't think the Bengals care about how he feels. They probably would tag him. Burrow, I love you, but can you make this? But it's, again, even they made more room with Joe Burrow's thing. Do you really have faith, Dylan, that the front office would do anything with that money? As we keep saying, it's not a cap problem. It's a cash problem. Even if he had more money, it does not matter. If we end up tagging Trey after this year, what would he get paid? Well, let's pull it up. Franchise tag cost. All right, let's pull up how much. Now, again, this is going to go up in the end because next year would be more money because obviously, but this is projected. If we franchise tag Trey, $26.6 million. Signing bonus, AJ Brown, $20 million, Devonta, $20 million, Jalen Hurts, $21 million, Justin, $16, Burrow, $40, Jamar, one's a 90. Yeah, I did see that Bengals fandom. I did see that, man. How can the Bengals pay $15 million for Slayton? Watching Adams, Butler sign for 3 years, $21 million. Because AJ Slayton is only good at one thing, and it's run stuffing. That's pretty much it. He's a true nose tackle. Joe can Burrow go and ask for a restructure, does the front office? It's something they have to work out together, but I would assume the front office would approach him about it. I know it's possible to franchise tag 2 years. You can franchise tag player 3 times, 3 years in a row. Tell he doesn't want to be part of the... shut up, Dunno. But it would cost us $26.68 million next year to franchise tag Trey Hendrickson. $22 million to franchise tag him this year, but obviously he has 1 year left on his contract. So $26 a year next year is not bad. And deal $18 million this year. So yep, $18 million this year, $26 next year. It's fully guaranteed, but it's actually not a bad deal. That's not a lot of money to franchise tag him. Now, keep in mind, when you franchise tag a player, the second time you franchise tag him, he gets paid 150% of the current franchise tag. So, for example, it's 26 this year, but it would be 150% of next year's franchise tag cost. So this times 150%. I think they already approached Burrow with the reconstruction, and they have that in the plan, but won't release it until Jamar and T's deal. So you think they're going to release... See, that's the speculation, is they're going to release them all at once. So that's really how they speculate everything will kind of fill in together. When Burrow says something, it has meaning. It does, yeah. He doesn't just speak to speak. He actually means what he says. So that's if we could franchise tag him next year. We could. So right now it says we have 34 million, but this is not the correct number. Okay. Keep in mind 34 million right now, but BJ Hill is not a part of it yet. Did you see Russell Wilson visiting the Browns? Well, I did see that. But BJ Hill's contract is not on the books. Once his contract's on the books, this is going to drop by 11 million. Okay. Joseph Asai's contract is not on the books yet. This is going to drop by 18 million once those two guys are on the books. So right now, the amount of money we have is this minus 18, which is right around 16 million, 16.5 million. We have $16.5 million right now in cap space at this moment in time. But we have to wait because BJ Hill's contract is not on the books yet. Why would they wait to release the news at once? That makes no sense to me. The reason why is because both those guys have the same agent. So they might want to make it a huge thing, like a huge celebration. They'll probably do a live stream and talk about it. And just, it just adds extra excitement, especially with everything else being, negative right now. So they'll probably just want to make it exciting pretty much. Yeah, around 16.5 million is how much we have right now. That's how much we have at this moment in time. Just tuned in. It's not a cash problem. listen to James last night explain we have plenty of money. We have the cash. No. It's not a cap problem. We have enough money to work around the cap. It's a cash problem because Mike Brown doesn't want to spend the money, Jackson. Mike Brown doesn't want to spend the money. We have the cap. We could work around the cap. We could push money toward the future, rework the contract with Joe Burrow. We could do all these things. But it's a cash problem because Mike Brown doesn't want to spend it. It's a cheap owner cash problem, not a cap problem. Sign Cooper Kupp, trade for and use capital from T and build the D. They're not going to trade T. It's Mr. Krabs, baby. Now Gino and Dunlap at the same time. Yeah. They just want to make it exciting. Bengals need Sebastian Joseph Day, Adam Butler, Bobby Brown, who signed less and better. Yeah. You can feel Burrow is going to restructure. I mean, if he does, yeah. Then what's the point of that NFL team? See, some owners, most owners, I will say, build it. They have an NFL team because they want to win. They want to win for their city. They want to win for their fans. They want to be successful in that way. Some owners run it like a business. And I know it is a business, but I mean as a business, meaning as profitable as possible. Make the most money back no matter what. And at the end of the day, it's sad, but that's kind of how Mike Brown runs this team. He runs it like a business that needs to make the most money back and will not use that money to make the business better. Make the most with the least. That's what Mike Brown does. He tries to make the most money with the least amount of resources. And the problem with doing that is you lose players. You don't get to keep your superstars. You don't get to have this guy or that guy because you're trying to make the most with the least. And that's the problem with Mike Brown and why a lot of people are upset with him and why we say it's a cash problem, not a cap problem. Because the cash part of that statement is Mike freaking Brown. That's the problem with it. It's a cash, not a cap. A cap lets us be able to work around certain things. But you have to have the front office that can negotiate those contracts to work around the cap. We don't have the negotiation to do that. And by the way, Curtis is a troll, guys. Don't fall for Curtis in the chat. He trolls. Because last night, the man was saying he didn't know any of the signings that were like literally the most obvious signings. And also, he also asked a million questions. I think he's just a troll. He also says he's a Chargers fan, which has to be a troll because we all know Chargers fans don't exist. They're not possible. It's a lie. Wrong. Anyway, sorry, had to do that. But that's why we say it's a cash, not a cap. It's a cash problem. It's a Mike Brown problem. He doesn't want to invest in his team. Retire Mike should probably get more scouts. The problem with that is I don't want to fall into the same department that the Browns are falling into. The Browns have 24 scouts, which is more than most of the league. The problem with it is they have crappy scouts. They hire anyone to be a scout. You're a scout. You're a scout. You're a scout. That's the problem, right? You want to have quality over quantity. Can you just buy the Bengals for Mike Brown? I can invest a $20 bill. Dude, if I could buy the Bengals, I would, and we would all run it ourselves. And Zim Hude would be my freaking he would be my GM. James would be my head coach. Joe Goodberry would be my front office official. We get this done. Lickety split. I hope Katie runs the team to win after Mike Brown. Keep in mind, Katie Blackburn, she negotiates all the contracts. So all the times we're like, hey, front office can't negotiate. Front office is inept. They can't do their damn job correctly. Da-da-da-doo. He does all the negotiations, folks. It's all chipping $20 and own this thing. Yeah, exactly. Mike Clown, don't cry. Can't cry poor after getting publicly funded stadium. He literally is on the billionaires list now. For the fences and Burrow quarterback in the stadium lease coming up. That's another problem. The stadium lease comes up as of 2026, and we still don't have a new lease yet. The best boys would be running it. Exactly. Who is Katie and okay. Yeah. Curtis, you a troll. How many Super Bowls would we get if we wrapped defense with the Eagles? Whoo! We had a half-competent defense the last couple of years, man. We would have so many rings, and a half-competent offensive line. I can't imagine. Yeah, I said that on one of your most recent videos about Katie. Yeah. So the standard is going to depth like the Saints and Browns. Most teams, they go all in. Don't win. Eagles win all in a bunch of players. Just so. Yeah, no, I agree with you, Bengals fandom. You don't go all in, but you have to sign your building blocks, and then you have to be able to draft to build around those building blocks. So you get your building blocks, right? And then you draft to build around them. That's what the Eagles are doing. And that's why the Eagles are so successful. You don't go all in. You're not going to go all in free agency and, spend $6 billion on all these guys. No, you're not. But what you're going to do is you're going to get your building blocks and you're going to build around your building blocks. The problem is our GM Duke Tobin doesn't draft well, so we can't build around those building blocks to get these rookies on these rookie deals and build around that. Would it be legal if we fans donated to say $50, $100 a guarantee signing millions of players of fans all over the world? I don't know how legal, but keep in mind, like the Packers are owned and ran by the stockholders. The Packers don't have an owner. Their owner is their stockholders. So you could technically be an owner of the Packers by buying into their stocks. So technically, yeah. Well, to be fair, some agents aren't good either. Yeah, there are some really bad agents, I'll be honest with you. Bengals keep this up, and the Browns are going to win the Super Bowl before us. And the Browns are never going to win the Super Bowl. No matter how dysfunctional you want to say we are, the Browns will always be more dysfunctional. It does not matter. The Browns will always be more dysfunctional. The Browns will always be, if it's brown, flush it down. Mistake by the lake. We lost to some damn elves. It does not matter. They will always be more dysfunctional. I don't think the Bengals are going to get a contract done with T. They will. 100% they will. I promise you one thing, and Adam Schefter said the same thing. The Bengals will get a contract done with Chase and T this offseason. 1,000%. Browns quarterback room could be Deshaun Watson, Kenny Pickett, Kirk Cousins, and Russell Wilson. Why don't we fans look into the stockholders to help them out? Are you talking about for the Bengals? Because that's ran by Mike Brown. But if you're talking about, like, could we do something like the Packers? That would be interesting. Who do you think will win the Super Bowl last? The Browns. That's the easiest question I've ever answered in my life. Cleveland Browns will be the last team to ever win a Super Bowl. I'm saying if Jamar is asking for $90 million signing bonus, then Jamar is preventing that cash from being spread out to Trey and T. Eagles haven't given any players $90 million signing bonus. I think that's really, you're kind of hitting the nail in the coffin. I mean, nail in the hammer here, man, about why these negotiations are not going through and why this Chase contract is still going on, and that still has not been solved yet. I think the Bengals should sign Gilmore and should sign Gilmore, just leadership and impact in the cornerback room. Isn't Stephon Gilmore like 35 years old, 36 years old now? Is he even in the league still? He's older. If you miss out on Jenkins, I'll go buy Redskins Daniels jersey. I mean, yeah, we need Tevin Jenkins to work on that offensive line, in all honesty. If we get cut by some miracle, we need to draft Genty and just say F the defense and just go all out. Well, can we, before we say F the defense, can we actually add some offensive line too? That would be really nice to get the offensive line figured out. So we are not getting free agents. I don't know if we're going to get any more free agents in this first period, but in the fourth period after the draft, very possible. Why don't you think they'll trade T? Because they've already made it very vocal that they're not going to. And I think trading T would piss off fans way too much. And right now they're not in the spot to be able to make that work. Now the Bengals need podcasters and true supporters to help them draft since they have no idea how. Hey man, I'll throw my hat in the ring. They want me in there. I'll take it, man. I'll take it in a second. I'll put my money where my mouth is. I'll take the job in a second. Been so quiet on guards. Yeah, because honestly, most of these guards, the reason why it takes forever is because you have bidding wars. You have bidding wars with most of these guards. Zeitler, I'm surprised there wasn't even more traction around him. But a lot of these guys, you have bidding wars. According to sources, by the way, the Bengals never called Kevin Zeitler. They never even called him. But he was open to coming back to the Bengals. So that's another fun fact. We never called Kevin Zeitler, but he was open to come back to the Bengals. Genty, I think, will go top 15. He won't be available when we go. Just playing 7-on-7 next year. Maybe, Todd, maybe. We draft before you, bud. Well, I think he'll go top 15. Need a guard. We need 2 guards, and we are not going to, or else we're not going to protect Joe Burrow with what we have. I agree with you. We need to draft 2 guards. I mean, we need to sign 2 guards. Isn't as good as Zeitler or Sheriff. Well, Zeitler's on the Titans now, so maybe I would love to get what's his name, Tevin Jenkins and Sheriff. That would be amazing. It would piss off Jamar if we lose T. It would piss off Joe as well, and you don't want to do that. Zeitler is still bitter with it. With it is. I don't think he would have been okay with coming back. Apparently, he was cool with coming back. It's just we never called him. Burrow has Chase already. He's the wide receiver. The only matters long term. Yeah, it will depend on the soft tissue issues for T. Higgins as well. That matters. We have to build the rest of the team. We do. Ryan should totally stream past 8:30. Why? Well, why, Liam? I only stream for... We do these daily streams. These are hour and 30 minutes apiece. All right, let's see if the Bengals did anything. Survey says... Wah, wah, wah. Yeah, no. Literally nothing. Single word game plan. Oh, man. Ben Johnson and the Bears traded for guards instead of overpaying these guards. Free agency, even Tevin has back issues and don't post most medical backs in the draft. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Do you think Kupp will be a Steeler? No, because I think you guys will probably draft somebody. You probably draft a wide receiver. It doesn't make sense to spend money on him, depending with your given your situations. There was a lot of people who hated this Marco Wilson. I was looking on Twitter. There was a lot of people who were upset that we re-signed Marco Wilson. I don't think he's the greatest, but I think for a rotational guy and as depth purposes, it's not bad. Realistically speaking, probably rather have him than Jalen Davis. I'd rather have Marco Wilson than Jalen Davis. Jalen Davis, I don't really see the point of getting him back. But Marco Wilson, I think he could have some potential. He looked decent near the end of the year. Like near the end of the year, he actually looked decent. All right, so let's talk about this. The Joe Burrow tax. Why is it that Mike Gesicki is the only one who's okay with paying the Joe Burrow tax? That's kind of pissing me off, man. Why can't other free agents also want to pay the Joe Burrow tax? If you don't know what the Joe Burrow tax is, it pretty much means that you will take less money, you will work out your contract with the Bengals because you want to play with Joe Burrow. So you're pretty much getting taxed by taking less money so you can play with the greatest quarterback of all time, Joseph Burrow. So that's the whole Joe Burrow tax. Some reason, though, other than Mike Gesicki, nobody else wants to take that tax. Jamar Chase doesn't want to take that tax. T. Higgins doesn't want to take that tax. Why? Mike Gesicki was like, yeah, and I'm guaranteeing you when he said that, they probably texted him, Chase or T, and probably was like, dude, don't say that. Don't say that, man. Because, like, no, we're not taking the Joe Burrow tax. Like, we're not going to take less money to play with Joe. But apparently Mike Gesicki is the only one who's okay with taking that Joe Burrow tax. Insane. I think the least we should do is sign a guard or draft a guard. We need to sign a guard no matter what. 100% sign a guard. You need a veteran guard in there that you are going to sign. Then you need to draft a guard. But you definitely need to sign one. Would most of the good players be gone by the fourth period? No, that's not at all. You have to keep in mind, a lot of players get cut after June 1st, right? So they get cut after June 1st. Once June 1st comes around, they get cut, and then they become free agents again. That's right around the fourth period, is right around when the free agents get cut. So we're going to see a lot of good players still available. The Bengals don't want glass eaters. They want glass players on the offensive line. They don't. I think you mean grass eaters. But yeah, I agree with you. Wilson's okay. He's okay. He's not bad, but he's not. I mean, he's not great. But because Mike is a veteran, who knows? Other players need to get paid, aka being good teammates. Yeah, I agree with you. For real, Liam, Mike actually is a good teammate. Mike's freaking amazing, bro. Hey, chill. Do not to that. Bro, half the AFC North don't have a quarterback. What do you mean? Half the AFC North really don't have a quarterback, bro. Do you think we have an early guard or late guard? I think we draft a late guard. I think that for this upcoming draft, I think we're going to draft... I didn't look at the name. Yeah, he's done now. He's a Steelers fan. But I think we draft a offensive line late. I think we draft defense very early. I think very early in the draft, we're going to focus on defense, and then we're going to focus on offensive positions later on. Bengals said Marco Wilson successfully covers CeeDee Lamb, Jerry Jeudy, and another top wide receiver. And our top five. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The ending part of the season, Marco Wilson really started to come on. He started to really cook. So... I'm not surprised that they went after him or they brought him back. That's another thing. We get a lot of hate for the Slayton too. Zeitler just got signed to the Titans. Who are we going to have at guard? Well, we're still fighting currently for Jenkins. If that's saying anything, we're fighting with the Seahawks and the Giants right now. Question: do you think someone in the Bengals front office has at least brought up Kupp's name? Oh, well, we're rumored right now to be talking to him, Jackson, right now. We're rumored to be talking to him at this moment in time. Well, the reason why we would draft is because we don't want to sign them. And we only have $16 million cap, so I don't think we're going to sign a guard outside of Jenkins. Because when we sign Jenkins, if we get Jenkins, that's probably going to be like 13, 14 million cap. To be fair, Bengals get hate for breathing. They really do. Anything the Bengals do, they're going to get hate for. I was thinking the guard is mid-draft if we don't sign. I think we sign a guard, and I think we draft a guard. Jamar Chase really better hope they re-sign T if his numbers are pretty pedestrian when he doesn't play. Well, yeah, I mean, when you have two number one wide receivers, you're always going to have better numbers. When all the attraction's on you, it's not going to go good. When we played the Bills last year, if you remember when Jamar Chase didn't get any receptions, really the whole game, T8, but Jamar Chase didn't get anything because all the attention was on Chase. My question is, why didn't the Ravens and Lions re-sign Zeitler? The Ravens interest me why they did it, but they do also have a lot of young, good, developing linemen. The Lions, I'm not sure why. Is Jenkins good? He's decent. He's decent. He's good when healthy. Thank you. There's apparently every Bears fans are now telling me he sucks because he can't stay healthy. Which we signed Trent Brown last offseason and he couldn't stay healthy, and those rumors was he wouldn't stay healthy. He doesn't stay healthy. It seemed like with the injury bug, whatever can go wrong goes wrong for us. Like, we deal with the injury bug adversity more than anyone else, it seems like. Would we have to get Kupp a new deal? Sorry if you've gone through this. So I'm not sure exactly. I think it would work like it worked with Von Bell, where they cut Kupp. So if we signed him, they would pay the rest of the salary, I believe. I might be incorrect on that one, but that, I think, is what the whole situation is. So if they cut him, we pick him up, they pay the rest of the salary, and we just have to pay him pretty much bare minimum. That's what I believe would be with Kupp. I believe. But again, there are still offensive linemen available. Like, we could still sign some of these guards. And at least getting 2 in free agency gives us that kind of buffer where, okay, we have Jackson Kirkland as a backup. We have, Cordell Velson as a backup. Cody Ford as a backup. Tackles, not really. The injury bug almost seems related to the training staff and strength and conditioning coaching. Yeah, potentially. I agree with you. Wasn't Zach Taylor wide receiver coach to Cooper Kupp? But Kupp had some serious injuries, so thought Kupp might retire. Kupp has had injuries his whole entire career. But yes, Coach Taylor was on the offensive coaching staff for the Rams before he became head coach. You're also a quarterback in college. All right, I'll be right back, guys. I'm going to go bathroom. I'll be right back. 1 second. Why do star players want to be on good teams and win championships, but they don't want to take a pay cut for the team to be able to sign players? Sorry if it's a dumb question. It's not a dumb question, Edmund. You're only in the league for so long, right? And the NFL is very, very a short period of time, right? So at the end of the day, these players want to get the most money they can before it's over. And the sad part is, players get hurt, players have season-ending injuries, career-ending injuries, and they can't last long. So they just try to get the most money they can before it's over. Is it over? I hear nothing. That's fair, Jeff. I just don't think that's the players fans should get hate like we yeah. I am back. Sign guys with poor injury history is kind of you kind of get what you deserve. Yeah, but at the same time, sometimes because of that, you do get them for a discount and you get them for cheap, which is always a good thing because obviously, again, it's all about the whole idea with signing a player and a free agent. You want to get the most production for the littlest cost possible, right? You want to get the most return on your investment. So if you sign someone, You're trying to be able to get them for the cheapest price while still getting the most production from them. So sometimes when you have players who have injury histories that are problems, you're kind of going into it knowing it, but you're like, okay, I can get this guy for a cheaper price, knowing he has an injury history, but if he can stay healthy, I'm betting on him stay healthy, I can get, double, triple my money back. You think T will sign back? If so, I think he will sign back. I think he will sign within the next, at least within the next month. Within the next month, I think T Higgins will get a contract done. Jamar Chase, I do not think we'll get a contract done until training camp or preseason. I think Jamar Chase is waiting to see how much Micah Parsons gets because he's going to want to get more money than Micah Parsons. And we're forever in this limbo of, okay, next man up. Then sign older free agents who are still good. And well, a lot of teams do that. A lot of teams also do that as well. They go ahead and they go for older veterans because not only does it help your younger guys because they're able to help develop them and train them and, kind of be like coaches to them, but it also is they know what the hell they're doing. But again, older veterans also have issues with injury concerns too. Even if they're not 100% right now, injured or having problems, injuries, they might in the near future. So that's another factor that, you always got to look at when it comes to older veterans. So I think it's kind of like it's a give and take system, I will say. You want to be able to get all these players for cheap, but you kind of have to finesse around, Ryan, you should go to a game and do an RL stream. That would be awesome. I was thinking about doing that. Do I need like a permit to do that? I don't know if I need a permit to do that. And I also don't want to cause like an issue or distraction or, cause anyone to get hurt or anything. So I was thinking about doing that though. That would be a cool idea. All right, what receivers are actually on the market? Obviously, Cooper Kupp. Stephon Diggs is still not signed. I wonder where he goes to in the end. Because Houston already signed 2 free agents, right? They signed 2 free agent wide receivers. So, I feel like Stephon Diggs goes to... I could see him going to Cleveland because they got rid of Amari Cooper. But after that $40 million deal, I don't know. I could see him playing like a 1-year deal or something with the Brownies. Chiefs will get Stephon Diggs. I don't think they will. I don't think they're interested in Stephon Diggs, to be honest. But those are the two. I mean, that's the one guy in out of all these receivers. That's the one guy I'm surprised is not signed yet. I know he's nursing an injury. Obviously, he was out for last season with an injury. But I just don't see how he doesn't sign somewhere. I don't get why Mike Brown doesn't sell 10% of the team if we have a cash problem. Because at the end of the day, it's an ego thing too, Nate. I think it's also an ego thing. It's a cash problem. He doesn't want to spend money, but it's also an ego thing. He wants to have him and his family in control. And by giving 10% of the team, selling 10% of the team, all you're doing then is giving up control. It's an ego thing. He doesn't want to give it up. He's not going to go against his ego. When do you think the Chiefs window is closed? Do you think it is now? It is not closed. The Chiefs window will be... it's just like Joe Burrow. The Bengals window to win a Super Bowl is just like the Chiefs window. It will always be opened. As long as Joe Burrow's on the Bengals and Patrick Mahomes is on the Chiefs, the window to win a Super Bowl will always be open. It's never going to be closed as long as those two guys are on those said teams. Now, for the Ravens, the window for the Ravens to win a Super Bowl has been closed since they drafted Lamar Jackson. It's like the front office only wants to win if they win by doing it their own way. It's literally an ego thing. It's my way or the highway type mentality. They have this mindset that they know what the hell they're doing and they know they can win with the way they're doing things, and it doesn't work. It doesn't. And the problem is they got to a Super Bowl and a back-to-back championships, all on the back of Joe Burrow. And the problem is because of that, it gave them a big head, and they don't want to go against their big head. Why is it okay to be the laughingstock? Because they don't care. At the end of the day, guys, they're not running this team to win. They're running this team as a business to make the most profit possible. And the way you make the most profit possible is by simply not spending money and getting the most in return. That's how you win. That's how you run a business and make the most money. The problem is most owners run their teams to win. And they'll spend the money they need to spend to win. Like, that's really how it goes. Like, usually most teams are like, hey, I'm going to run this team to win. And I'll spend whatever I have to spend to win with this team. Mike Brown's like, no, we're running this like a business. A business has profits. We don't want to spend money because then our profits go down. Because the fans get upset and the fans refuse to go to the games. And when fans refuse to go to games, that costs Mike Brown money. If Mike Brown costs money it costs money to Mike Brown and the fans won't spend money, then bam, you got to fix something. The thing is, again, I said this in videos before, we are not cutting the head off the snake, because in order to cut the head off the snake, then you're going to have to make real changes. What we're doing is putting band-aids at the very bottom of all the snake. We're cutting off parts of the snake and putting band-aids to try to fix it. That's the issue. Bengals knew the fans are going to be irritated. Do you think they care? They care if it costs them money. Like, we could have so much cap space to sign anyone we want, restructure Burrow, extend T and Chase, could free up loads of space this year. It could, yeah. Because what we could do is backload it, put it into a signing bonus, and prorate it over 5 years. 100%. But they don't know how to negotiate. That's the problem. They really do not know how to negotiate these contracts. I don't know I don't know how they don't know how to negotiate, but they don't. They negotiate like a 3-year-old child, and it does not work. Oh, there will be a waiting list, and this is giving them the big head. I mean, losing Trey, T, and Jamar would piss off. It would. That's why they're not going to lose Jamar and T. I promise you that. Chase and T are not going anywhere. Chase and T will be signed by the end of this offseason, no matter what. Because if they lost Jamar and T, there would be no more fans of the Bengals. And they know that. They're going to keep those two guys. Trey, he has 1 more year left on his contract no matter what. And we already talked about the franchise tag. They could franchise tag Trey Hendrickson for $26 million next year and keep him around for another year, and then just keep franchise tagging him if they really wanted to. So they could continue to franchise tag Trey for the next 3 years and still pay him less than $35 million per year all 3 years. So that's probably what they're going to do, is try to just keep franchise tagging Trey. And with the salary cap going up, they have all the money in the world to do so. So he's more valuable, but you have to remember one thing. The people who put fans in the seats are Chase and T. Higgins, right? Who's more valuable to the franchise? Trey and T. Higgins. Chase and T. Higgins, excuse me. Because Chase and T, they sell tickets. Offense sells tickets. Those are the guys that everyone goes to the game and want to see. They want to see Chase catch 150 yards or T put up 200 yards in a game. Those are the players that sell tickets on the field. Those are the guys that people want to see. Trey is important to the football team. He's important to the building block of the defense. He allows the offense to work because he's the one who takes it away from the other offense. But defense will never be sexy in the eyes of fans. Now, true football fans like us, it will be. But the casual fan, they don't care about defense. Defense makes the game small. It makes the game slow. It makes the score low. No one wants to see that. That's not fun. That's not entertaining. I want to see 60 points put up. That's why Chase and T are very important, because they put points on the board. They make it entertaining for fans, and they are your best business moves. They make the most money for business. Defense is good for football, but it does not make money. Defense keeps the score low. That's why Chase and T will be signed, because business decision wise, it is way more important to target those guys than it is to target a defense. Fact that Trey wants to, Trey wants to be in Cincinnati. He said it every single time he talked. Every single time Trey has talked, he has said many times he wants to be in Cincinnati. 100%. Offense is always the draw, no matter what. Nobody, we love it as football fans to see our defense do good, but at the end of the day, the casual fan is what most football teams target. The casual fan that will talk to their friends about it in casual talk is what they want. At the end of the day, NFL teams know people who love their team and talk about their team, true fanatics will always go to their teams, will always go to the games, right? They'll always go to the game. They'll always talk about, they'll always spend money. We're fanatics of the team. What NFL teams want is they want to bring in the casual fan. They want to bring in the person who doesn't spend money on the games, who doesn't spend money on the merch, who doesn't watch it religiously and only watches it casually. That's what they want to bring in. They want to bring in those said players. Or sorry, said fans. And the only way to do that is by having a crazy good offense. Because defense, they're going to be bored. If you're not a fanatic, you're going to be bored. And they will always target just those casual fans. So seeing Chase get re-signed as a casual fan, you're happy. No, I'm correct. He is still under contract. Well, do you think Trey would get traded? No, he has one more year left on his contract. They'll just play out the last year, because we want a first round pick for Trey, and we're not gonna get a first round pick. Hey, what's up, Dunno? Welcome back. Defense is the best part of football. 100% it is. 100%. Easily the best part of football. Did Aaron Rodgers announce yet? No, he did not announce, and he's not going to announce. Why is he taking so long? Because the Giants are probably trying to give him every single thing possible. The Giants, well, first off, he's probably on a freaking ayahuasca retreat, and he's probably seeing freaking clouds in the sky and crazy stuff like that. That's probably why. Like, bruh, that's probably why he hasn't announced yet. He's probably on freaking shrooms in the middle of a jungle. I could feed my family. Yeah, that's $26 million a year, man. What 5 more million going to do for my life that I can't already do? Josh Allen interview taking 55 instead of. Yep. At the end of the day, you get to a point where eventually money just becomes stupid money. Like, it gets to a point where you're like, I can have enough money to take care of 7 generations down the line of my family. And at some point, I just feel like there is greed that's in there too. It's more just, it's less about the money and it's more about principle and the bragging rights to say you are making that much money. No, we didn't do anything, sadly. baffles me we haven't signed Tevin Jenkins yet. Horrible. It's because the other two teams are bidding him up. They're bidding him up like crazy at this point. Him on a beach. Yeah, he gets like high as fluff, man. Trey is going to end up playing in Cincinnati for another season. I mean, he has 1 year left of his contract right now, and then we can franchise tag him for $26 million next year. If Aaron Rodgers, I'd be doing the exact same thing, to be honest. What if the Bengals traded Jamar and kept T? They would not. They would not at all. Not a chance in bloody hell. Well, probably not drugs, but whatever else he wants. Talk about Aaron. He literally takes drugs. He takes hallucinogen drugs so that he can go on like spiritual journeys with things. It's actual drugs. It's like mushrooms. It's hallucinogens. The Bengals really won the offense. We could already have signed 2 guards. But that's the problem of the Bengals can't negotiate to save their lives. That's more of that issue. Giants are throwing anything but the kitchen sink to get a man. It will go down if he moves the head too fast. Yeah, pretty much. It's also in the first extension Josh Allen did. The FLPA very hands-on when a star quarterback does the first extension. Yeah. They don't have to get guards because they like seeing Joe scramble. Honestly, I think it's just like their fetish to them. They just like seeing Joe Burrow on the ground. Are going to draft from the UFL. I'm the one that pointed out the drug use out the other night on here. Yeah, I know, Nick. Bengals type of team to draft someone from the lingerie football team. At least what they want. It wasn't Dak first extension either. Dak got a freaking $60 million a year. Insane. Do you think we would get I don't think we'll get any running back. Because at this moment in time, I don't think we're going to draft a running back. We're keeping Zach, according to what we understand, we're keeping Zach Moss 100%. P. Ryan's on the team now. There's probably a 0% chance we draft a running back because we already have those 2 guys. So if we have 3 running backs, I don't think we're going to draft somebody. If we want to keep him, right now, it seems like they want to keep Zach Moss. So if they want to keep Zach Moss, I don't think they're going to draft anybody. If that tackle from Texas is available at 17, he'd be nice. I mean, any tackle we get will probably convert to guard, to be honest. Mark my words, Joe Burrow will end up like Carson Palmer. That's what a lot of people say. It's what a lot of people say, and the Bengals aren't fighting that narrative right now. I'd rather have Herbert before Moss. Well, Herbert went to the Colts, so we're not going to get him back, in all honesty. We're going to keep... Do you think the Dolphins will get rid of Tua if he's under contract for a while? No, they're not going to... Why would they get rid of him? If he's cleared to play football, which he was cleared to play football, they're not going to get rid of him. They're going to just play out the rest of his contract. The only way they get rid of him is if the NFL made him retire. And the NFL is not going to make him retire. We should draft destroying. I mean, he is a kicker, but the problem is he he fractured his neck. So I don't know if he'll ever play football again. But might be better than what we have right now at McPherson, Cade York. Joe and Jamar would be a package deal no matter what. Oh, that would cost so much, Dreamy. That would cost so much. I will. First off, number one, just the contracts there. You're talking about like $300+ million contract worth of players there. We would obviously, the Bengals trade Jamar. They would want at least 3 or 4 first-round picks. Jamar alone would be 3 or 4 first-round picks, and T would be a first-round pick by himself. If we traded those 2 guys as a package, we would probably want back 5 first-round picks and a couple players and maybe some other trade stuff too. He's gonna be back. I can't believe we gave Mixon away for a 7th, and then we traded that 7th for freaking Khalil Herbert. That would be insane. what would be the trade value for Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase? Joe Burrow alone would be 3 firsts and 3 seconds. By himself, he'd be 3 firsts, 3 seconds. You add in Jamar Chase, you're adding in another 3 firsts at that point. So for both of them, it would probably be 6 first-round picks, 6 second-round picks, and a couple players. Bengals definitely lost to the Khalil Herbert trade since they didn't stay on the team as depth, but still glad they're willing to trade to have better depth in the push in the playoffs. Yeah, I mean, I did like the idea of the trade. I will agree with you there, fandom. I did like the idea of the trade. I really did. Dolphins got Zach Wilson for a back quarterback. I saw that. We talked about it yesterday. Do you pay attention to basketball? I do not, no. I have a basketball team, OKC, and that's it, but I don't pay attention. We were going to cut Mixon anyway, so at least we got a pick out of it. No, I agree with you there. It just sucks that in the end we traded him for the guy we literally got, and then we just let go. I wish we would have traded him. If we gotten that pick, I wish we would have used that pick on someone important, and it would have been like a better value return, but it is what it is. Herbert would have been good if we used the stupid management doesn't use our new players. Yeah, I mean, he did get utilized somewhat because Chase Brown obviously gets hurt, late in the season. Zach Moss has a neck injury. He's done. So we did utilize him somewhat, but his first play for us was a fumble against the Ravens. And I feel like that really started off on a bad foot. Signed with the Titans. Zeitler signed with the Titans. Yep, Zeitler signed a 1-year, $9 million deal with the Titans. It is what it is, Still wish we got Mixon and not Moss, to be honest. Moss, when he was healthy, he was actually pretty good. He was a great blocker. He was actually very, very efficient as a blocker, which with how piss poor our offensive line is always, it's nice to have someone in there who can actually block. The sad part is Zach Moss blocks better than most of our linemen. That's the sad part. He blocks better than most of our linemen at this point. Still no guard. No guard, man. Chase Brown shows some amazing potential. Of course, he can pass block and he can run and he can catch the ball. He can pretty much do everything. Chase Brown is an everything back. He can block, run, catch, everything. I think Justin Fields will do well in New York. I'm kind of... I don't know. I think they're going to go more to a mobile West Coast offense with the fact they have Justin Fields and Breece Hall in the backfield and kind of get more mobile with it. Kind of like the Lamar Jackson-esque type of offense. I don't know, though. Do they have Greg Roman or Greg Roman's still on the I think Greg Roman's still on the Chargers. They could have gotten a higher pick for Mixon if they would have had Mixon's agent seek. That is true. And again, that's another factor that they don't think of ahead of time. They don't think ahead when it comes to some of these things. They really don't. I mean, maybe, he'd probably be better guard than most of the options we would go with. Forget Garrett Wilson and Justin Fields play together. They did play together, but you got to keep in mind, Justin Fields is not that accurate. And he's more just really good at running. And he's a very good mobile quarterback. He's like a gadget type quarterback. 4 good guards left. Hernandez, Sheriff, Reznor, and Jenkins. Yep. I wouldn't mind Shaq Mason at this point. I really wouldn't. We have a terrific back on the practice squad. Milton, too we stupid not to use him. We have 3 backs right now, so we'll see. Aren't we playing the Jets this year? Are we playing the Jets this year? Let me check. Oh, I think so. Actually, that really sucks then. Just realized we are playing the Jets this year. Yes, we are. We are playing the Jets. Those are the teams we're playing this year. Hopefully, Cup doesn't go to AFC North. He might go to the Steelers. Possibility goes to the Steelers. Jenkins taking forever. We failed at getting a free agency tackle. Yeah. No, we got Slayton. TJ Slayton. We got him. but he's more of a nose tackle, if anything. Aren't we playing? Yeah, we're playing the Jets this year. How long we be live? I'm about to end the live soon. I like to stream for an hour and 30 minutes every single day. Every day, these shows go for an hour and 30 minutes. When we had free agency, when we went live at 12 o'clock on Monday, that stream went for like 2.5 hours. But I usually like to do an hour and 30 minutes for these lives. Fields, Richardson, and Caleb Williams were all the same quarterback. I wouldn't say Caleb Williams yet. I wouldn't put him in that yet. I think Caleb, if he can get better at passing, then yeah. Every team seems to pass on Reisner every year, and our run game coordinator with Reisner at the Packers and Vikings. Yeah. How do you feel our opponents this year? So far, obviously, we're very early in the process for free agency. I have to see what happens in the draft, but I'm okay with it. It's not the easiest schedule, obviously. I think it's like the 15th hardest schedule or something. Obviously, things will change, but I'm okay with it. I'm not too scared of our opponents. No, I go for like an hour and 30 minutes. That's how we usually do these streams. But Patriots I'm not scared of, but obviously, again, we played down to them last time we played them. Jags I'm not scared of. Jets I'm not scared of. Bears I'm not scared of. Lions I am. Cardinals, no. Steelers, Ravens, Browns, you already know AFC North. Bills, we always control them. We always take care of business against them. Dolphins, I'm not scared of. Broncos, I'm not scared of. Packers, kind of torn. Vikings, I'm only scared of the Vikings because if they start JJ McCarthy, we suck against young quarterbacks. We suck against rookie quarterbacks. And it would be, theoretically speaking, his rookie year this year because he sat out last year with injury. So the Vikings would be an interesting one because of that. And then we have division, obviously. I wish our home games and away games were swapped. Yeah, playing at home versus Buffalo would be interesting. But keep in mind, we might play Buffalo at the end of the year, Dreamy. And it might be snowing there. And we all know how the Bills fans the Bills players feel when it's snowing and we have to play them. When we have to play the Buffalo Bills and it's snowing out, they don't like it. They get upset. So, who knows? Maybe we'll play them in the snow and they'll cry like a little baby. They did that last time we played them in the playoffs in the snow, and they cried like a little baby because they were like, we can't, the only reason you beat us is because of the snow. Said the team that literally loves playing at home in the snow, apparently. Yeah. They almost lost to the Steelers in that Bills-Steelers playoff game, and that game was in the snow too. So, just saying. Or can only cry about snow. Dude, it was hilarious. They had so many players complaining about that. Josh Allen doesn't like snow. Apparently, no one on their team likes the snow because we beat them. We destroyed them. And all their players did was cry about it. About how the snow was so bad. Gatspace and us coming into free agency, and they extended multiple guys and signed multiple free agents. Because their front office knows how to negotiate. Our front office simply does not. They have a better front office than us. They actually know what the hell they're doing. And we're sitting here with our thumbs up our butt saying, can we do this? Wow, he like Steve Urkel. Did I do that? Ah, it is what it is. Do you think the city climate has a factor in where players go? To a certain degree, yes. I think obviously, where you want to play. But I think there's also like income tax and state tax that people care about too. I mean, there's a lot of factors, Russell Wilson going to the Browns. It's possible. Very possible. Bill's GM is annoying, but he's good at his job. That's usually how it works. All right, guys. I'm going to end the live stream there. Appreciate you guys stopping by. We will be live tomorrow. I think we'll be live tomorrow at 5 p.m. Okay, so tomorrow it's gonna be 5 p.m. I'll have it scheduled on the channel, but it's not gonna be our 7 o'clock hour. It's gonna be 5 p.m. tomorrow live stream. Okay, so I'll be live tomorrow at 5 p.m. See you guys next one.